to mix up a little bit more epoxy paint and just go around the car, inside the body a little bit, the rails and so on, in behind the new firewall and in behind the package tray here. It's been sandblasted and I've got it all welded in place. Just so that once we put the 49 Chev body on there, because the next time I put that body down on here, it stays. Because I've got all of the little odds and ends done. And so I just wanted to paint any areas that I'm not going to be able to get at, later on, so that they'll be rust-free, rust-proof. And this car will last for another 50 years, But I can't not do a good job. And it's kind of a neat thing to be able to get to the point where we're going to put the 49 body on the 06 Cadillac chassis and weld it on. I mean, I am so looking forward to that. I've got so many things lined up now. And I've had to redo the back muffler mounts, exhaust mounts. I don't know, 3 times I bet. I re-welded, made new mounts for them to keep getting them lower and lower and lower, to get them underneath that cross member, the cross member that we built across the back of this 49 Chev. And then all of the other little odds and ends. I think, I'm amazed at how this thing here turned out. I was quite concerned about it because I kept the 06 Cadillac seat back so that the seats, will just go right in there. And then the trunk hinges and everything are part of the 49 Chev. So I'd cut that package tray out of the 49 Chev and just put it aside. And then yesterday, I kind of just took a guess, and cut it along the front and stuck it up in there, and it fit pretty well perfect. So I laid down in there yesterday and welded across. That was a pain. Anyway, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Terry and I are just coming out of COVID. And so one of the interesting things that I find about that is it's been 3 weeks, just about a month now. If you remember the Mother's Day episode, by the time we got home, we were pretty sick. And, it was just not a tough deal. It wasn't that devastating, but it just drains your energy, man. And it puts your brain in a fog. And you'll start working on something and then find yourself just sitting there, 3 or 4 hours later. But all of the little things that I did in that fog have turned out really amazingly well. I'm actually quite surprised, that firewall and the package tray here. I've got the steering column mounted. I've made the brackets for that. It's just a lot of little odds and ends that I've finished up and then got everything ready to weld the 49 Chev on there. It's going to be a big day, really is, because how long we've been working on this? Well, I think we're at episode 26, 27, 28 or something like that now. And, a lot of time passes in an episode, at least a week, and a lot of work goes on in one episode. And one more thing, I'm looking forward to getting into something new. And I've got to build the dash as kind of the last big hurdle in the 49 Chev forming things. And that's going to be a challenge because I've got to make the Cadillac gauges and air conditioning and steering column and everything look like it's kind of period correct, or at least like it fits. So I'll spend some good time on doing that. But anyway, what I was going to talk to you about is the process or the vision, right, of whatever it is that you're building, whatever it is that you're making. In 1958, my grandpa bought a brand new Cadillac. I don't know what the model of it was. It was a 4-door hardtop, maroon and white. Oh man, it's just like a land yacht, it's a beautiful thing. And so I don't know if he bought the Cadillac because that was fitting to go see the Queen. The Queen was coming to Banff, and we're living on a farm in Fort Steele. And so it's, 4 or 5 hour drive, something like that, I guess. And my grandparents loaded all us kids, all 5 of us, I think, little brother and older sister and 2 cousins into this Cadillac, and we went to see the Queen. Well, I don't remember seeing the Queen. I think there was horses, RCMP, and the Red Surges and all that kind of stuff. I think there was a lot of that parade and that kind of stuff. I'm sure there must have been. But what I remember is riding in that car. And there's something about Cadillacs. They're so quiet and so smooth, and just so like riding on a cloud. And you think about that, a few years later, I think it was about 1968, late 60s anyway, he sold the car, traded it in on an Oldsmobile, a plain Jane black Oldsmobile. Nothing fancy about it. I was really disappointed, And if I'd have known then what I know now, I would have built a shed 100 feet long and 15 feet deep and picked up cars. Same grandpa bought us this original 49 Chev, not this one, but the exact same car for $50. And it was like not a thing wrong with it. Drove nice, no scratches, no dents in the chrome or anything, no rust, of course. And you could pick up cars for next to nothing. I bought a 55 Chev back then for $200. Well, the thing's worth 50 grand now without even having a motor in it, And I had a 36 Willys Coupe. I gave that to somebody. I also gave the 55 Chev to somebody. And a bunch of different ones that, if I'd have just focused on it, because you could buy some amazing cars, like two-door hardtops and stuff and coupes and those kind of things. I mean, they were just giving them away back in the day. And if a guy had put them in a shed, and now it would be like this amazing barn find, right? And it would go viral on YouTube. We all dream about finding the cars that we'd wished we'd kept in a barn like we'd wished we'd kept them. But you know what? It really doesn't matter so much anymore. And I get a lot of really interesting comments on this car build. One guy comments often, he says, I'm just can't wait till you finish that car because I want to do one like that. I'm thinking of doing one like that. Well, the last episode that I do will probably be like the pros and the cons, or should you do this or should you not? And right now I've got mixed feelings. And of course there's going to be reasons to do it and reasons not to do it, which depend on your willingness. I wouldn't say so much skill level, but your willingness to develop the skills and do the research and the trial and error and the by guess and by gosh. That's just happening to work out absolutely amazing on this car. But everything's within a 32nd of an inch or 64th of an inch tolerance when it comes to putting everything together and lining it all up. And you remember we extended the Cadillac chassis, we lengthened it 1 inch to make it fit the Chevy. But everything is so stinking tight together that if it was off, 1/8 of an inch, well, 1/4 of an inch for sure. If I'd have done it 1/4 of an inch different, it wouldn't work, or it'd be a mess. But I also get a lot of, criticism, In fact, I've made a few guys really mad with this build, because for some reason they don't like it. And I don't know. I mean, you just build it the way you want it and drive it the way you want it. But for some reason, in some people's minds, this is just not right. It's just not the right way to do it. And I suppose it's just because in fact, one guy said it's not ordinary. It's no good for ordinary people. Ordinary people will be wasting their time watching these videos. Well, I beg to differ, because it's not just about building cars, right? It's about one more thing. And, I'm just really, really enjoying it. Both the positive and the negative comments. The negative comments stir me up, and I'm like, oh yeah, you just watch. Just watch when we pull this thing out of the garage. I've got enough experience with finishing car projects that it's just such a thrill when you get them on the road. I mean, imagine the first time you drive it down the road after you've done years of work on it. It's just so rewarding, just so crazy rewarding. And I took my wife to the grocery store yesterday and just sit in the parking lot waiting for her. And we're in the 29 Dodge sedan, and a guy pulls up beside me and says, "You do all the work yourself?" Yep. It's something, people want to know that. Do you do all the work yourself? Are you the guy with the vision? And I'm not going to criticize anybody for going out and buying a finished hot rod and driving it. I mean, that would be thrilling too, wouldn't it? Not quite as thrilling though as building your own. Years of welding upside down, sparks falling down your neck, and grease everywhere, sand everywhere. And then, you get it finished and it's like, do you do the work yourself? Yeah, I did. You did it all yourself? Yeah, I did it all myself. Engineering, welding, fabricating, designing, wiring, painting, auto body, all of the glass, all the interior work and everything, all done myself. And it is very, very rewarding. But you know what? You can work on a small project in the backyard, and it's the same thing, right? It's that reward. When you had a plan, you had a vision, you went ahead and you did it, you got the work done, and there you are. And start up the barbecue, man. Let's have some hamburgers and relax in our new look in the backyard, right? My backyard is dandelions, gravel, and car parts. So there'd be none of that. But we're going to, have a party here one of these days when things kind of open up a bit. I'm really looking forward to that. Hanging out with some friends. Yeah. And now we're done COVID. We've got a bright future.